Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We will be starting a new series on how to program equations on Microsoft Excel. To aid easy assimilation, we will be starting with very simple equations, then we will gradually move to far more complex programming. For today, we are going to program a simple quadratic equation using both the factorization and quadratic formula method. We should note that programming on Excel is not like it is done on MATLAB or other advanced programming software. Excel was basically adopted because of its ability to perform arithmetics and has so far been very helpful across various disciplines. To begin, let's go to the first row and place our equation. We are programming a simple quadratic equation where the coefficient of x squared is equal to 1. The programming will be slightly different when it is greater than 1. When working with Excel, make good use of your space to make the programming neat and easy to understand. Let's insert a table for prefix and value. So what do we mean by these? If you look at the Word document, the coefficient of x squared is a, while the coefficient of x is b, and the number without x is c. These are what we referred to as prefixes. Let's go ahead and insert them in a table. When solving by factorization, we find two numbers that when we multiply will give the product of a and c, and when we add will give b. So we look for two numbers that when we'll multiply them will give minus 16, and when we add will give minus 6. To do this, we need to first program our result for AC and note the value of b. Watch how the programming is being done. It starts from putting the equal to sign. This lets Excel know that you are about to perform a computation of sorts. After the equal to sign, to insert the value for a, go back to the value table and click on 1, then use the asterisk to show multiplication and refer to the value for c in the value table. Do the same for b. For the work to be called a program, all the expressions must be linked continuously, so that changing it from the beginning will affect the entire result. Looking at the Word document, it is written that the number should be a factor of both a and c, and in this case the numbers will be minus 8 and 2. Minus 8 times 2 will give us minus 16, and minus 8 plus 2 will give us minus 6. Because the coefficient of x squared is 1, I always prefer putting the small number first. The factors cannot be programmed. They are what you have to think of and insert, which is basically the only thing you will be doing once the programming is complete. Let's insert the factors as b1 and b2. If we look at the Word document, we can see that there will be two results for x, which we will take as x1 and x2. Our x1 will be equals to minus 1 times b1 and x2 equals to minus 1 times b2. Don't forget to keep linking the programming instead of just typing values. Let's also link our values table to our equation row so that changing the question automatically changes the table and other programming linked to the table. We can now see that changing a in the question automatically changes a in the table. Now that this is done, all you have to do going forward is change the question and determine B1 and B2 from the values of A, C, and B. We should note that this technique only applies when the coefficient of x squared is equal to 1. Let's now move to programming the quadratic formula. This will provide a clearer view on programming in Excel. We can view the quadratic formula to the right of our screen, and we'll be programming it term by term. We will take minus b as the first term, but we can't use arithmetic symbol to begin the name because Excel will assume we are trying to compute and will see it as an error. The programming will be minus 1 times b, then enter. Ensure you reference the b in the value table. Next, we program b squared, which will be equal to b from the table, then use the caret symbol for squaring, which is like an inverted v on the top of the number, then add the power, which is 2 in this case. Next, we program 4ac, which is equal to 4 times a times c. Ensure you take ac from the table or programmed result for ac after the table. Next, we program b squared minus 4ac, which is equals to the calculated b squared minus the calculated 4ac. Reference the results, don't type it. Next, we find the square root using capital letter SQRT, then reference 100 in bracket, then press OK. We forgot to add our 2a, so we can easily insert a row and program it. Now we can program our x1 and x2. Carefully observe here. From the quadratic formula, we can see that x is equals to minus b plus or minus. That means for one it will be minus b plus and for the other minus b minus. Let's program x1 and x2. Make use of the bracket to demarcate the numerator from the denominator. We have made a mistake, which is why our results are different. Let's correct that and note that while programming, we need to be very careful. Let's find a random example online and try with our programming. We will go with the equation x squared plus 4x minus 5 equals to 0 with results of x equals minus 5 or 1. Let's go ahead and change our main equation. Then move down to a, c, and b. We need two numbers that when we multiply will give us minus 5, and when we add will give us 4, which are minus 1 and 5. We can see the results are similar. Thank you for following, and in the next video, we will treat a more difficult one. You can post your ideas if you have any programming problems on Excel, and we will make it into a video. Thank you, and keep encouraging us by subscribing.